Got something a little bit special for you in this video, guys. I know that most of you out there, if you've been involved in building automation for a while, you have had to deal with systems where the data that you pull in comes in as a numeric value when really you would much rather it come in as an actual state text. There is a way within Metasys to change the number into a usable state text, and that is how or why we use the custom enumerations. This is something that I'm not sure if any of you guys have seen before. Maybe some of you have. You let me know down in the comments below if you have. But it is something that can be very useful. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to jump in and I'm actually going to show you how you can go in and set up your custom enumerations based on a numeric value and then actually control it from Metasys using a state text value. So jump right in. But before we get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would like and share the video, subscribe to my channel, leave me any comments down below, check out the affiliate links down below, support the channel where you can, guys. It really helps. Check out Blackout Coffee. Use my link below. Save a little bit off of your order. It's great coffee. But for now, guys, let's jump into the video. Here is our unit. This is an Aeon unit that we have added to our system. And I just want you to look at how we see a point come in. You can see here the occupancy schedule is coming in as an analog value, and that's just not as clear as what it can be. And if you go in here and do a little bit of investigating, you're going to see that there's other points within the system that come in like that as well. And there is a way to correct this within our system. It would be nice if your manufacturers would include this, if they would heavily simply put their state text out there when you pull a backnet point in. What we have here is the manual. What we're going to do, this is the values for those various numbers. If you were to look at the various numbers through that, that array of numbers for the occupancy schedule, this is going to be the various state texts that you can have. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring these state values and we're going to change this to where we can actually see what state it is other than just seeing a number. And we're going to start by going to your site, clicking on custom enumerations, and we are going to add a custom enumeration. And again, this is underneath the site. You can see all the various enumeration values that we have within our system. Most of these are factory, but then you can go on and add new ones. And you can see here, I'm going to call this something that is recognizable. We're going to literally label this the name of the air handler so we will know what it is. And we are also going to enter the number of states that are available, and we've seen that in the value that was in the manual. We do have the manual that comes with the book. And now what we're going to do is simply copy and paste each of these names into the corresponding value. You can see here how many that we have. And, we can go through here. You can sit there and type all these if you want to, or you can basically, copy paste, which is what I'm going to do. You can see here, I'm just going to enter the total number to make it match what we have in our book as far as what is shown. And then again, I'm simply going to change my arrangement just a little bit just to make it a little easier for you guys to see. Normally I'm running two monitors, but I can't necessarily get it both on screen as I'm doing this. And I'm simply going to copy paste. And again, guys, this is basically I'm doing a voiceover now. I just let the recorder run when I was working on actually doing this. And I'm simply going to go through here and copy and paste each of the names into the various sections here. You can see just Control C and then go back to my custom enumeration. And then I'm just going to add each of these names as, all the way down through this state. Again, just going in, clicking this, copy, pasting right in, and it's going to take just a little bit, and I'm not going to show you all of it, but I did want you to see how you can go in and actually begin to build custom enumerations within your system. And there's other steps that we've got to do that we're going to get to in this video. You're going to see us set up a multi-state value and actually link this to that table or to that analog value that is coming from our controller. There are a few names that are duplicates right out of the book. You can see them here. And I'm just simply going to add the numbers back in to where I can distinguish between these. We will never use these various states within our system as far as how we're controlling this air handler. But I do want to go ahead and set this up to where it does give a proper display of what the values are. And you can kind of see here, I mean, it's literally straight out of the book. Those numbers are replicated. So we're just going to just add in a little bit of number because it's not going to let us have 3 of an identical state text as we're trying to do this. And then once I have these entered, I'm simply going to hit save, and then we're going to move on. That's going to save that custom enumeration table to our site. And, you know, that is one step that is in the process of doing what we're doing. Now we're going to drill down to the network engine. And in the network engine is where we're going to do a lot of work. Now, one thing that you want to do, and I say this in all of my videos, you want to make sure that you are using folders, that you are keeping things organized within your system. So inside this RTU folder, we are going to add an additional folder, and we're going to call this custom enumerations, you know, for the RTU. And, you know, make it something that you can remember, make it something that is relatable to your system, and particularly the device that you are going to be building it on, because it's going to save you a lot of trouble in the future. Now that we have got our folder created, you can see that it is empty. I'm going to hit that plus sign again. I'm going to insert an object. And, you know, you have all of your various objects here, but the particular thing that I want is going to be the multi-state value, okay, that MV. And you know, you have a lot of options in here, but for the purposes of what we are doing, we need that MV, that multi-state value. And then I'm going to give this a name that is similar to what we need it to be. And you're going to see some changes as far as what I do and later on in this video, so be sure to stick around. And I'm going to call this occupancy schedule, which is how we are going to be using this value. And then once I create it, there's a couple of things that I've got to pay attention to. I'm going to go down here, and you can see here underneath the state texts, you know, you're basically what I'm going to do, you're right here, I'm going to drop this down, and then I'm going to go down and select that custom state table that we created. Okay, you can see here again, we're scrolling down all through the various ones, but we do have this search option here, so I can simply start typing in the name and it will filter through for me and make it a lot easier to find exactly what I need. And I'm going to simply select that. And that is how we link this multi-state value to that custom enumeration table that we created before. And, you know, we have all these other options here, but that's basically all that we have to do, except for I want to connect this value to be controlled by something. And what I want it controlled by is the actual value from that air handler. Okay, so what I'm going to do here in this section, I'm going to now connect to that section that you've seen. I'm going to drill down into my network tree. I'm going to find my air handler, and then I'm going to find that particular point within the air handler. You can see here, these are all of the various points of my air handler. And, you know, there again, I can scroll down through here and see everything in it. You know, so if I need to bind a value, if I do another one of these, I can bind it to exactly what I need from this. Here is the name because it matched for what it took us to. So I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to hit OK. And what that is going to do is it is going to change based upon that value. Now, here is an option of whether or not I want to write to or read from that particular point. This particular point, I want to be able to write to it. I want to be able to tell it that it is going to be occupied or unoccupied. And that is what I can do here. I can link it and tell it the direction that I want that data to go, whether it's going from that multi-state value or coming to that multi-state value that we are creating. And again, in this case, I want to write to it. Okay, you can see here I have an adjust. I can adjust that up and down with a priority array, or I can simply be able to change it, from this multi-state value. So I'm going to select right to, and then when I make a change to this multi-state value, it will then make a change to that analog value that will then actually affect how that unit controls. And I'm simply going to hit OK here. And you can see here, this is my point, and you can see the state that it is now displaying. Okay, and you can see this is it's come in as unoccupied because that's what the default value of that point was. So it took that occupancy mode of that unit to 0, which is unoccupied. Again, that's what matches our state tables from our book. So what I'm going to do now is I'm simply going to do an adjust. I'm going to set it to be occupied, and once I set it to be occupied, there is a little bit of a delay, but pay attention to that number, and you're going to see there it went. It changed to 1, which is the occupied command point. And that makes things a little bit cleaner, but we're still not finished. I want to get that data value onto this graphic. And there's several different ways you can do it. I'm going to show you how I do it in this way, and it's not necessarily the best, but it works. Okay, it does work for what we need. And again, this point is now going to be controlled by something that has an actual name. It says occupied, unoccupied, and so on. And again, this is just one example. You can use this for heating mode, for cooling mode. If you get a numeric value for a, there again, a mode of a system, you can use something like this to actually change it to where it is a usable text, to make it to where it's a little more understandable. And that is one of the big benefits of how that you can use this step, creating that custom enumeration, setting it up to make it more functional, making it much more functional. Now we are in our graphics editor, so I'm going to jump in here, hitting that big fat pencil you see it in the upper right. And I want to add that point to our graphic because there again, what is the use of data if you don't have it to where you need it and to where it's useful? So what I'm going to do here in my editor is I'm going to go through and make some changes. And the first thing that I'm going to do, you can go in and sort data. And this is something that I hope Johnson Controls changes at some point. Right now, I can only sort ascending or descending. I don't really like that. I want to be able to adjust these and put these where I want them to be. It will not let me take a single one and do what I want with it, at least currently. What we're going to do is I'm going to drill over to the network tree, and I am going to drill down in my network tree to that folder where that enumerated, that multi-state value that I created is. I'm going to grab that multi-state value, and you can see here, right there it is, that occupancy schedule, and then I'm going to drag it over into this data box. Okay, and you can see it there, and I want to do something else first. There's a little bit, I'm particular about how I like to order these things. So I want to go in and actually put it back in order the way that we would typically use it. And I'm going to jump back over to the aliased, because there again, this was set up on an equipment definition. And what I'm going to do to get it in the order that I want, I'm going to grab the particular point. I'm going to delete this one out because I don't need it. But you can see here, I'm just going to keep going until I get these back into the order again. This is just me, guys. This is not something that you have to do. This is just one of those things that I personally, I like things to be ordered in a particular way when I look at it on the system. And again, I'm just going through here. As I add the particular point back in, I then delete it, and that allows me to move each of these back up into the particular order they were previously. And again, I know that this is going to be a change within Metasys at some point, or at least that I hope that it is, because I want to be able to put those values in a particular order and move them around in a particular order. But this is kind of how I have developed a workaround to get things back into order once they get moved. Okay, and is it the best way? No, but it works. And you can see now it's the last one, and now we are back into the order of how it was. Okay, this is how I wanted it. You can see I do have the name changed here. or I'm going to change the name here. You can highlight this, and this is a new feature within Metasys 15. I can click that point, and I can edit that name slightly right here in this data box, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. You can see here I've got it pulled up, and then I'm simply going to change the name slightly to something that kind of distinguishes but is still recognizable for the system. And then, adding notes to a graphic, I do go in and add notes to my graphics. It makes it much more handy than just leaving things bare, and I'm going to hit save. And then once I do that, let's go over, and you can see here until I do a refresh, this data box is not going to change. Now I'm going to do my refresh on my browser, and then you can see the change pop back up. It's going to take it just a minute. Let me zoom back in. And now I have, instead of having just that value, I have an actual state text. And just to watch it again, I'm going to adjust. I'm going to change this to, here's all of the different ones I could switch to, but I'm going to change it to unoccupied, and then I want you to watch that number change. It'll take it just a minute. There, it went to 0, and now I'm going to go back to occupied because I don't want to leave this air handler off. Okay, go back to occupied. It is then going to go back to 1 to where the air handler would be in its occupied state. You can see there's not much delay, but this is one way to make your life a little bit easier and to make your system a little more understandable. Okay, simple to do, guys, once you get it figured out. Not hard at all. And this is question mark thing, and just a little bit of a cleanup that I've got to do, but no big deal. As you can see, the process is not very difficult. Okay, it just takes a little bit of an understanding as far as how these features work, and then you're able to set up those custom values. Again, that multi-state value, you can go in, create that custom enumeration the way you've seen me do, and you can literally make it say whatever you want it to say to make your life easier. And again, guys, it's just a simple couple of steps, and it can save you a lot of trouble, particularly when you get people that are not as familiar with a system. There again, most people, if they look at just a numeric value when it says something says occupied or unoccupied, obviously it's going to be easier to understand if they've got that state text there. And that's the purpose of this. And like I say, it can be used both as a way to send data to a particular point or to pull data from a particular point. If you have a value that is a state value, a status value, or something like that, you can then change that to something a little more useful and a lot more meaningful to you. But guys, I hope you like this video. If it is helpful to you guys, again, I would appreciate it if you would support the channel in any way you can. Again, check out some of the affiliate links down below. It really does help the channel. Become a channel member. That's one way to support what we do here also. I'll put this information out there for you guys, and hope that it's helpful to you. Guys, thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the videos on my channel. Like and share. And guys, we'll see you next time.